In this video, we will have a look on how to combine the three add-ons that we did discover together, and to show you how it will work during the process of creation and how basically you will use these add-ons more or less during this kind of creation. So I didn't prepare anything, it's just to show you how to even make some concept shapes very easily, and sometimes not think too much on what you have to do, and just to experiment some shapes. Okay, so I will just go there into the side view, and I will go in here and I will just make a SY to make my object a little bigger, and I will start with this to draw my shape with the carver add-on. So I will make maybe a kind of shape to make a kind of little spaceship or something like that. I don't know really what I will do now, but with Ctrl+Shift+X I will start to make some shapes with that. Okay, so I will take with the space bar here the line, and I will go there and start to draw a shape. Okay, let's start with something like that. Maybe here, there, start to be interesting. Okay, then with space again, I will draw here the first shape. Then again, I will just maybe take, starting from here, another shape like that. Okay, good. And now I did remove this part, and maybe here again I would like to draw something a little more interesting, so I will go until something like that. Okay, whoop. And here I have a first shape. So in front view I will do basically the same, just by adding some more details there. So something like this here, just to get the shape a little. Yeah, it starts to be good. Maybe I can draw a shape there as well. So just to have something a little more interesting. Again, here I can draw something like that. Good. And maybe on this side as well, I will cut the shape here a little. Okay. And so now we have a first shape that we would like to use, let's say. And for this first shape, what I will do now, I will make escape, and I will start to use our second add-on. Our second add-on here, the fast carve. So I will just hide the booleans and hide the primitives. I will just keep this here, and what I would like is just to make an X to have exactly the same into the other side. Okay, and when I have the same into the other side, what I can do too, I can make a bevel object, and it will start to look a little better. What I would like to do, the last thing I would like to do is to draw something maybe a little bigger there to have a kind of more interesting shape. So with Ctrl+Shift+X again, I will take a line or tool, and I will just cut here. Okay, as you can notice here, some sharp some edges are not sharp here. Like for example, this one is not sharp, this one is not sharp, because by default if I click on bevel object here, the add-on will take everything that is above 30 degrees. So what I will do, I will just go into edit mode and select these two, basically all the edges that I want to be sharpened. So here it must be something around there, and I will make a sharpen edges, and now you can see that it looks a little better. Now there's two vertices here are not really into a good place, so what I will do, I will just make a Alt M at center to have something good, and this one I will just remove this vertex by dissolve the vertex. Okay, and like this I keep the geometry there, and I make X again, and I should have something like I want now. So okay, I have a first shape, and let's say with this shape I would like to make some wings, let's say. Okay, so if we would like to make some wings, maybe I will just make Ctrl Shift X again, and with this time the line shape again, I will go there and start to draw a shape like this maybe. Okay, it's really experimenting there. I didn't prepare anything as I told you, and I will just use the reball for this one. Okay, and like that with the spacebar I will have this one that is available now. Okay, this object is available now, and maybe with this object, by just taking it like that and make SX, sorry, I can start to draw a kind of wing shape or something like this. It can be interesting, who knows. Okay, and let's keep it like that for now, just a little bigger. X again. Okay, good. And now we would like to add some details there, to say that here it will be the cockpit. So to make that, I will go into the side view as well, and with Ctrl Shift X I will choose the right angle. So again with the line tool I will go there until here and draw this kind of shape until here, until here, let's say, and until there. Good. So again with the reball option I will have my object that is available here now. So just by going inside the object I will make SX to make it a little more inside like that, and to show that again it's another object, I will just go inside this one and select with the faces selection mode with the 3 shortcuts. I will go with GZ here just to have this kind of shape like that. Okay, so we start to have a little cockpit here feeling. And now what I would like to do is to take these faces that I have here into my object and transform them to have a kind of, let's say, window feeling. Okay, so what I will do, I will just to have this I will just select the edges that I have there, and I will just dissolve these edges here. Okay, and now I can start to work on that. So what I will do, I will go into face selection mode here, select the faces with Shift key. Okay, and now I will use the Y shortcut, the inset shortcut that is here by default over there. Okay, the inset faces. So you can go just after making it into the option, or you can call it with F9 if you want, but it's here, and you have the possibility to use, for example, the individual, and it will give you this frame that will be interesting for our purpose. Okay, so let's say we would like to make something with less big amount, something around there, and we have everything that we want now. So we make another extrusion with E now, and with Alt S we will go inside just to show that it will be some frames like that, and I will bevel my object again to be sure that everything is clean. And now you can see that I have a more window feeling just with this kind of little trick. Okay, so what you can do to have more interesting shapes, I will cut a little this wing here. I feel that we can do better. So for this shape here, what I will do, I will just make Ctrl Shift X again, go to the difference, and again I will go there, draw a line, make something interesting, and make a reboot again. Okay, and now with that one I can take it and make SX to have something a little more interesting into our shape, just like that. Okay, sometimes, as I told you, so this is really when it's finished that you don't have to make any information, any cut again. You will select just this and make a sharpened edge to have really what you want on it. It will be the same. I will have some time to come back into this one to make a sharpened edge here and there. Okay, just to show you here. So basically there's little techniques that we will use during the training, and after we can add some other shapes, like for example here, if I would like to have, let's say, a kind of circular shape there, we could add this with here a cylinder. Okay, and this cylinder, I don't want too much vertices, maybe 24 will be enough for our purpose. I will make a GZ here just to make it above there, and with SZ I will just start to draw a shape like here. Now I will select this face, and just with ES and ES again and ES again, I will have now the possibility with Alt left click to select this loop here and to extrude it along the normals to have this kind of shape there. Now I will just select this loop there to make it something around there. Okay, and here as well I can use another loop and with Ctrl R and scale this one as well. Okay, so I will have this kind of shape that I would like to add into my object there. So I don't want to subtract, I want to add this time. So what I will do, I will just go into the snap settings. As I told you, we will use the face and the align rotation in the project individual element. Now if I make a GY, it will project directly into the surface here. Okay, as you can see. Now if I scale it down, maybe make a GY again into the top view. Okay, as you can see, I can just put this here and it will work pretty well. Now I have my object that is there. So if I want now to make here and to use the third add-on here, the bool tool, that is with edit here, that is here, we will just use the shortcut. Usually I just stay there with the fast curve and I use the shortcuts for the bool tool. For the bool tool here, I just go there, I select my first object, my second object, I verify that I don't have any bevel modifier, so I remove the bevel modifier, and with Ctrl Shift Plus I will just make this operation, and then I will come back to bevel object again, and you will see that it will work pretty well, pretty easy. So I have a new shape there that I can use. Okay, and then after, when you have the big shapes, when you are happy with the big shapes, let's say, I don't say that I'm happy here, it's just to show you example, but when you are happy with the big shapes, you can start to draw little shapes inside that. So what I mean is that you can play a little with what you have to increase the level of details. Like for example here, if I go into front view, let's say, and then I would like to draw another shape like this maybe. So what I will do, I will make Ctrl Shift X again with the line, and I will come until here and there and here. Okay, the other side will not be the same exactly. It's not a problem because we will use the mirror after. And with the shift key, I keep with the reboot my two objects. So this one, now I go out of this add-on, I select this one and I will make X. I select this one and I will make X again. And like this, I'm sure that I have exactly the objects that I want. And I can go, for example, just to add a level of details, I will just go in edit mode, select everything and make a SY maybe to have something like this. Okay, a little more interesting, let's say. Maybe this part with L and GY, I can put it back without the projection here, okay, to be sure that it will be well in place. And yeah, after maybe on the side view, let's say I would like to add some details here, Control Shift X again, I go there and draw a line that I like, okay, and I will make a reboot again, and maybe with SX now I can add even more details like that, okay, and more and more and more. You will add some interesting shapes into your object. So for your cuts, if you want to keep some interesting sci-fi shapes, I really recommend you to use this kind of angles. Like for example here, if I would like to make an interesting shape on this one, this kind of angles are interesting. Like for example, you go straight, you do a first angle 45 degrees, around 45 degrees, not necessary to be precise on it, and then you make another one and you make another one, a big one, let's say, okay. And so yeah, this kind of shapes, it's really common in sci-fi patterns or things like that. So don't hesitate to use it. It will add a nice touch into your elements. Okay, so here I did draw another, let's say. Now if I go there, I can even make another thing like that, let's say, and this one I will cut it directly. I will not keep the other. Maybe with the new shape that I did create here into object mode, now I can go into edit mode and select this shape, make an extrusion, okay, just something a little more interesting, make a new shape like that. So you can really play with that. Don't forget, just after you did everything, to bevel your object like this, okay, and to make them the same shape into the other side as well with the X button there, okay. And after you can really have some nice moments of creation with that, because you are almost free to do what you want. So you will see that you will have some cleanup to do sometimes, like here you see that you have a weird angle that's showing up. So I will show you how to resolve that into the next video. It will be a good example on how to resolve these things, okay. So what you can do is to add some repetitive shapes with the array, as we did see recently, but here we could add some maybe on the wing like this. So just for that, you go there into a new object. It can be a cube, for example, okay. And if we would like to add a kind of capsule shape, we make a SZ there, an SY, SX, sorry, something around there. And in case you want capsule, you just select the 4 edges there, and with Control B you will have, and the scroll of your mouse, you will have here a capsule, okay. So this kind of shape, yeah, can be interesting sometime. And now I will go inside edit view and make a rotation into the Z axis, something like that, to make a shape more interesting. And then I will finally can go in object mode and add my array. Maybe for this example, I will increase a little the offset and increase a little the number, something like that, with four repetitions. Okay, and I will just to escape to go out of this. Now with the snapping option there, I can just put it into my geometry there, scale it, and have a nice shape like that we can use to make more interesting shape into this wing there. So if we have this now, we can just select the second object with shift. We will have our both objects that are selected, and we will just remove the bevel. Don't forget to do that before to do any operations with Boolean operation. So Control Shift minus to dig my object and bevel the object just after, and it will keep the nice shape just like that. Just after you drew the X and you have your shape into the other side. So it's very user friendly to use this add-ons wisely. Okay, so let's say with Control Shift 7 I would like a new shape around there. Control Shift X again. Maybe I will go on something like this and I will draw a shape around there. Okay, to have something not too crazy but a little more interesting. And with the reboot I can just have a cut around there here. Okay, so now I go out of this add-on, I select my object, I do X to have it's not X, it's negative X, and this one I do a negative X as well, so I have a new shape that can be interesting to work with. Now I will go into edit mode, select maybe the four here faces, and make a GZ to without this one, a GZ to put it a little outside and make it a little more interesting, to like it will be something that will go out of the shape like this. And I can come back to this and tell to my add-on to sharpen the edges there, and again I will sharpen these ones as well. Okay, to have something more interesting and more beautiful. Okay, so this one sharpen, this one sharpen, maybe here we have something to sharpen as well. Okay, and yeah, after you just play with the shapes and don't hesitate to experiment with that, because there is a lot to discover in this, and it's really interesting way of creation. So yeah, enjoy this kind of creation style. Maybe here a little more cut just for fun. We go into that one maybe, and with Control Shift X again we do another cut like that. What it will do, will it be interesting or not? With the reboot here I can go out now and make an X on that one, make an X on that one. Be sure that here we have the sharpened edges where we need. Okay, and maybe so this one, that's why here it's not really interesting, because it cuts along the circle over there, and it's something I want to tell into the next video. So it's a very good example on what to not do here, but I will come back to this topic and I will just come back with Control Z until there. So maybe this cut, when you do this kind of cut, you put the cursor where you need to stop the cut, and with Control Shift X this time you will use here the cursor depth with on here. So like this, I will just go with the D, and I can make my cut again, just like that. Okay, good. And now I select my object X, I select my object X, and I can maybe take this around there, just as two faces, and make a GY to make it a little more interesting for the shape we have there. So that's it for this video here. You can see that there are a lot of possibilities, but that there are some limitations as well with this. And I would like to show you how to not get crazy with that, because there are some little rules to respect to make your models good, and to not have too much problems during the process of creation. So that's it for this little example. More or less it's like that we will work on the next videos after. Into the next video I will show you how to respect the rules of creation and how to clean your models after some cuts.